guys, and welcome back to the channel. So for today's makeup look, as you guys can see, we are doing a beautiful like halo eye. This is a look where you just want to be glam. This is a look where you just want to, I don't know, step on people's necks. I was actually inspired by a makeup artist that I follow on Instagram. So if you guys want to see all the details, skin, all that stuff, then be sure to keep on watching. Starting off with complexion, of course, and by the way, y'all see my skin? It looks pretty good, if I should say so myself. I am using my favorite primer right now. It's from Refi. This primer is just so good. I know I need to switch it up, but you know, why fix something that ain't broke? Okay, I love rubbing this into my skin because it kind of, I don't know, it's just good. It's just a good ass primer. If you haven't tried it, try it. Okay, moving on to color correcting, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks, the color correcting one in peach, and I don't know if you guys can tell, which would be surprising, but I am a little darker. I did some self tanner and it came out a little darker than I was expecting. I'm not mad at it. It's just I have to compensate with my makeup products. I actually really like applying my matchstick before I do a little bit of the powder method that I've been doing in the last few videos, because I feel like when I apply my matchsticks on top of a little bit of powder, it just tends to just tug a little bit more on the skin, and it's just that much harder to blend. Although it is easy to blend, it's not as easy, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to be taking my Huda Beauty powder and just a little tiny bit, like I have been, and just putting it in the T-zone area. I really like this method because A, it blurs the skin, as you guys can tell, like what blurs, okay? And I think it helps kind of the longevity of the makeup. It also helps the makeup last a little bit longer and keeps it looking more matte, in my opinion, which I always prefer in matte skin. I don't typically go for a luminous look unless I'm specifically going for that. Moving on to the new Makeup Forever Sculpting HD Skin Palette. This is all about sculpting and I'm really obsessed with this. I wanted to use this for several reasons. One being that, well, girl, my skin, I need something to compensate. I need some darker shades. I don't have a ton of darker shades. Some of the makeup that I had that was in darker shades I've given away. So I'm like trying to figure out how to make my skin look and match my body, right? But I really love these palettes, especially for sculpting. I've actually used the foundation one in a previous video, and I remember actually saying that as for foundation, I don't think I really like it as much, but for contouring, which they had some shades that I actually used for contouring and bronzing, I actually really enjoyed it. I think the formula is just a little too thin for foundation, in my opinion. Moving on to concealer, I am taking the Huda Beauty concealer. You guys know I love this stuff, and I actually ended up using only one shade, and I will do my best to make sure everything is down below in the description box. But as you guys can tell, we're doing the same old, nothing crazy here. But I actually did use a different brush, which I'll show you guys in a second. Just highlighting every little area that I need, but obviously keeping it in little tiny little areas. I am taking this Fenty Beauty eyeshadow brush. I believe this is the number 3 brush. Honestly, use whatever is dense yet fluffy. I actually think I'm gonna be applying my concealer like this from now on, because this is small enough to get right under the under eye without dragging the concealer down in areas that I didn't want it to be in. And it's just the perfect like density and fluffiness to really blend that. I mean, when I was blending this, I was like, wow, like it just was blending so beautifully. I just don't know why I never thought about using an eyeshadow brush like this before. I'm glad I did though, because this blended out like stunning. It was stunning. This is my new favorite way of doing my concealer. So maybe if you guys are struggling with your under eye, maybe try these tricks with the powder and maybe like the smaller the smaller little dots under the eye, keeping it right under the eye, and maybe even using a little brush, because I felt like it was really helpful and I was very happy. I sometimes struggle with my under eye because of the fine lines and things like that, and build up and creasing and things like that, but I think all the little methods that I've come up with over the last couple weeks, they're working for me. Moving on to blush, I'm using the Jaclyn Hill. It's like a blurring cheek tint, and I love this. Love this so much. It blends out really nice and it's mattifying, which is really great. It's a matte formula and it really does blur out that area, which obviously I bring my blush to my cheeks. So yeah, like I really want it to kind of have a blurring effect and it just looks beautiful. This color is gorgeous. I love it. Moving on to my Makeup Forever powder foundation. Y'all know I'm a powder foundation girl, so I'm going to be taking one shade that's a little bit lighter and I'm just going to be setting like my concealer, the center of my face. Basically everywhere I concealed is where I'm going to be using this powder. I'm actually taking the old formula from their old powder foundation because this was the darkest shade I could find for me to like kind of, you know, and make everything match. But it's still super good. I'm hoping that I can get some darker shades in the new formulation, but this is still very, very good. Absolutely love it. And you guys know I've been really into using powder foundations as of lately. I wanted to go ahead and bake my face a little bit because I just felt like I put too much powder foundation on one part of my skin. It was looking a little off, so I wanted to bake to kind of clean everything up. And I literally let this sit for like a second. We're like using a lot of powder, so I don't feel like it's really necessary for me to have this on for so long. And so as soon as I put it on, I usually blend it off. And really, I'm taking this brush and I'm kind of just like marrying everything together. Like we have a lot of powders going on, so I'm just kind of like blending every single thing together. I definitely need to find a powder foundation that is just going to go with my tan, but so far, I mean, it's okay. Moving into eyes, I'm using that Cool Tone Morphe palette along with the One Size palette, and I'm kind of playing with both palettes because I'm kind of going on a cool tone and warm tone like little situation with my eyes. I was inspired by this makeup artist. Her name is Ashley Holm or whatever. I think it's Holm, but she has a K in it, I don't know. So she did this look on Khloe Kardashian. I'm actually gonna post a picture really quick. It is so beautiful. The eyes are just a halo eye, but it's very grungy and just really, I was like taken aback when I seen this. I was like, oh, I definitely need to try this look. So that is what I'm doing. I'm doing my version of it. So I'm taking both of these palettes and I'm kind of playing with the warm and cool shades. I'm building up with like a really dark brown and I'm gonna add the tiniest bit of a black, but I really just want this to look really smoked out, but obviously keeping the center spotlighted and just giving that halo effect that I am looking for. So I'm taking a little bit of a darker black and I'm kind of just, because if you look at Khloe Kardashian's look, like it's almost like winged out. I think also her natural eyes, it's easier to wing her eyeshadow looks that I've noticed when her makeup is done. But yeah, it's definitely winged out. So I kind of was trying to go for more of like a angled halo eye, if you will. And I'm taking this shade from One Size, I believe it's Mango. This I think was just the perfect shade for the center of the eye. Like I feel like there was a lot of warm but cool tones in Khloe's look, so I wanted to play on that, and this shade for the lid was really, really bomb. Right now I am doing some liner, just because again it was just super smoky, it was super grungy, it was dark, it was everything. I'm gonna add some of this Space Cowboy, okay, on the center of the lid, and I'm actually gonna bring it like up into the crease, but keeping it in the center. And I felt like this is really pretty. I really loved how this looked. I don't know if she had sparkle on her look, but I don't know. I like how I did it. I think it came out bomb. Moving on to bronzing, I'm gonna go ahead and warm up this face because I am trying to figure out how to make my complexion work because my body is so dark compared to everything else. So I'm using the shade Caramel Cutie from Fenty Beauty, and this is a beautiful bronzer. It's gonna warm your skin up, it's gonna have you looking beautiful and just bronzy and glowy and all of the good things. So I'm blending that all into my skin, and I'm trying a new blush from Sephora. This is, I believe, like Moon. I'll list everything down below, but this was that really cool pink tone that, like, this is probably gonna be a new favorite blush.
It's from the Sephora collection, so you know it's not very expensive. It was just a beautiful cool tone pink, and that is a vibe for me right now. Going into lips, I'm going to be lining my lips with the Artist Color Pencils from Makeup Forever. The first shade is Whatever Walnut, and then of course Total Taupe. Total Taupe is just a given. I gotta put a little something on there. And then I'm finishing off my lips with lip gloss from Juvia's Place. I think I used this in my last tutorial, and I just wanted to go in with a gloss. It's just very pinky and beautiful, and girl, I love it.
And like that, she is done. I love how this turned out. It is very glam nighttime. Like the eye is so beautiful. Girl, Ashley, what's her name? I forget her name. It's Ash. She goes by Ash Comb, whatever. She really did that, and I love how this came out on me. I'm actually happy that I didn't do false lashes. You can do false lashes if you want to, but I think for this look, for me personally, I like just having mascara, and it just kind of gives the halo eye a little bit more spotlight, if you will. I feel like lashes would probably cover it up a little bit more, but yeah, I love how this turned out. So of course, if you guys love it as much as I do, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys comment down below. I just want to chat with you guys. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the makeup look, if you're gonna try it. And that's about it, honestly. That is about it, okay? I will see you guys in the next video. I love you so, so much. Bye.